Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to create an alert dialog in the Android application. Let's take a look at what we want to accomplish today. So here's the simple application, and we can click on the buttons and it will pop up the alert dialog first. And here's just the alert dialog with only one button. And when we click OK, here's the tools at the bottom that show us which buttons that we click. Here's the one with three buttons. Yes, and the toast saying that we click yes. Here's a list dialog. We can pick any of the color, and they will tell us which one that we pick. So let's dive in. Open Eclipse. Create a new Android project. Let's name it Alert Dialogs. Choose a target to be 2.2. Retype the name of it, and the package name is my name, Alert Dialogs. Finished. So let's create the layout first. Let's go to resource layout main, and so the layout is very simple. We want to get rid of the text over here, and we want to have buttons. So graphical layout, that's the text. So get rid of this text view, and when you come back here, let's zoom out a little bit. Actually, let's zoom in a little bit. See that the text is now gone. What we want to add buttons in it. We want to add 5 of them. So that's 3, 4, and one more, 5. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want them to expand the whole width of the layout. So here's how you expand it: toggle fill width, and we do the same for all of them. And let's separate the top a little bit. So let's separate it by 50 dip. So let's look good. Let's come back to the code and change. Let's change the name for the buttons. So instead of saying buttons for all of them, let's use a variable string button 1 and let's make this 2, 3, 4, 5. And the way that you use the strings variable is you will go into resource folder, values folder, strings.xml, and you just add the string name in here. So string name, remember we call it button 1, 2, 3, 4, so we do 7 here, button 1, and we can type 1 button dialog. Let's do the same for all of them. So they have the same format pretty much. So let's do this. So we have button 2, 3, 4, and button number 2. Let's do it. Is 2 button dialog, 3 button dialog, which will show a dialog with 3 buttons. Number 4 will show a list dialog, and number 5 is radio button dialog. And once you save this, when you go back here, you see that there's no error over here. And when you go to graphical layout, voila, we have the buttons over here. The name change with the variable that we put in here. So, and yep, and then the ID for them would just be button 1, 2, 3, 4. That's fine. So the layout is good. Let's go back to our main activity, source, our package, and then the alert dialogs activities. And in here, let's create some private variable for our buttons. So buttons, my button 1. Let's create it another 4 times. So we have button 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's import the buttons from Android widget. Save. So as always, we will call the super create in our onCreate method, and then after that we will inflate the main layout by calling set content view, and after that we will associate our buttons with the one in the layout. So we do that by file view by id resource.id.button1. Okay, remember that in the main layout that we have the ID for each button, but as of now it's just the graphical layout. We need to add we need to hook this button with the actual button object in Android, so that when we click or when the user click on any of these buttons, we can handle the action. So, and that's how we do it. Let's do it for all of them. Button 2, buttons, find deal by ID, and let's just copy. Okay, now we have button 2, this is 3, 4, 5, and this is 3, 4, 5. Okay, once you've done this, then now our buttons will be referenced to this graphical buttons. And the next thing we need to do, we need to handle the click event. So we need to implement on click listener. Let's import that from the Android view and add unimplemented method. So after that, we can set on click listener to be this. What it means is when the user click the buttons, the button will notify this class and let this class handle that click. So let's do that for all of them. 3, 4, 5. And this onClick method will handle the click action on any of these buttons. So what we need to do is let's create a method to create and show an alert dialog. So here's the node that I have. This is basically from Google documentation. So what they say is in order to create alert dialog, you need to create a builder, alert dialog builder. After you create this, then you can add all the necessary properties that you want for your alert dialog. For example, the title, message, buttons. You can create a list, or you can even create add an icon to it. And then after you've done all of this, you will call the create method from the builder to build the alert dialog for you. So let's follow that, and we will create a sub method to do that for us. So private void show one button dialog. Now first of all, let's create the alert dialog builder. So it's just the type subject is alert dialog builder, and let's name it dialog builder, and the constructor will take into the parameter context, which is this class. So, and we can add the title to it. So set title, greeting. We can set message to it. So welcome to my channel, and we can add a button to it. Now, why it is positive button? Because there's only they only let you create the type of buttons that they allow. So they have positive, negative, and neutral. So in this case, the button is positive because basically it can be neutral because it doesn't do anything. And let's just name it OK. That's the text will show on the button. Here's a listener of it. And we have to use this interface, dialog interface, on click listener. Click on it, it will create an anonymous class for us. So this is the class that will handle the on click or will handle the click event on the buttons inside the dialog. So what we want to do is we just want to create toast. So max text. The method max text will get into will take in the parameter context, the text, which is the charge sequence or strings, and then the duration. And in this case, in order to get a context, we do get application context. That will give us the context of this application. And then this term is the defined term of the toast object or toast class. It's short, so it's like 1 or 2 seconds, I think. And after we've done everything, so let's pack it up and create the dialog. So alert dialog will be, let's name it alert dialog, and we will call the method create from the builder. So this will create the dialog first, and let's show it. Dot show. Okay, let's test it out. Now we want in here in the on click method we want button number 1 to handle that. So we call the switch. Let's change this name to something easy to understand. So view dot get ID. So we get ID of the click, so we know which button get click. Dot ID. If it is button number 1, then we will show one button dialog and then break. Okay, let's run it. Run as Android application. And